What's going on, guys? Today we're going to talk about how systems build wealth and how motivation and fun are irrelevant. So be sure to watch this video from the beginning to the end because we're going to get deep. So this is what's going on. Today is December 23rd. All of my little Santa Claus specials are over. All of those special deals and stuff I was giving, that's over. So if you want to be part of this, the link is below for you to get into the King program. $3,000 or a payment plan. If you can't swing the payment plan, go below and get in the money management course. This will preserve your pricing in 2026. We've got merch and other stuff that's coming. I don't know if I'm going to remake this. This was part of the merch. So a lot of stuff's coming. Links below. Plus, we have a download, the wealth map, for those of you who are interested in getting wealthy. All right. I had this thought. A lot of people are interested in building businesses, and I need to speak plainly and clear. I'm going to say something that's going to come across as very, very dismissive. The average black YouTuber who's in the business space is often full of shit. Now, what do I mean by that? I did a video the other day talking about Will motivation. Will has built up a business. He makes money. He could drive a Ferrari, all other stuff. But when he gives advice to you, it's incomplete and it's incompetent. And this is why a lot of people are confused, because I also did a video of the man with 3 jobs who's just pissed at society. That's back a little bit further back. But the whole notion of you must have fun to be successful. This is something that happens, like, say you have a hobby or something that you like to do, right? Then you turn it into a job, and then all of a sudden, responsibility, expectations, duty, click in, and all of a sudden it's not as fun and you're not interested in doing it. That mindset is fucking killing you. Well, it's gotta be fun. Well, it's no longer fun, so I don't want to do it no more. That shit's gonna kill you. That is going to create such a dangerous pandemic in your life. Because here's the thing. Like, when I came back, after taking a year and a half off, like, I didn't work for a year and a half. I didn't do nothing. And I came back and I instantly built a system. And now you're seeing it. And let me explain the system. First, I came out with an offer. And I had no expectations on that offer because typically your first offer is shit. So I came out with an offer, then I came out with a second offer, then I came out with a third offer, then I came out with a fourth offer, and the fourth offer started to work. That's a system. It's a process, and it's not about fun. It's about having a system that slides money into your pocket. Okay? Then that was going well. Then my main channel gets hacked. So this kind of screws up the system, because this channel, I think, is in terms of people who are solid who watch this channel. So I'm very thankful for you guys. But the bigger channel is the one that gets the traffic. So at the moment, my system has hit the pause button because I think I'm going to get the channel back. It's not gone. It's just like Google will take their own sweet time by giving me the access back to that channel. But using that system. Also, something else. Today is Tuesday. And I am hiring my first Whatnot employee. And this is also another part of a system. If you remember the Kill Switch Chronicles, where I outlined starting a car rental business and outlined the whole process and what happened, a lot of people love that. We're getting ready to do the Whatnot Chronicles. Starting a Whatnot business, hiring people. And this one's going to be much deeper than the Kill Switch Chronicles because I have to hire people. The day is, we got 8 days to get some more people, and we will see. And it's Christmas time, and everyone is sitting home rubbing their belly like Christmas dinner and all that other stuff. So but once again, I have a system. and I got my first employee from placing an ad on ZipRecruiters, and we're coming in today, and then I got to go out and find a printer so I can print up some paperwork and all this other stuff. But you need to have a system, and you need to forget about motivation. There are a lot of people who like YouTubers who are, because they're your favorite YouTubers. You like the way they speak. You like whatever they have to say. You really like that. And then someone like me comes along and tells you, that YouTuber's full of shit. Then you get mad. Then you get mad because here's the thing. I am extremely financially literate. Extremely. Painfully so. So I can listen to someone, and I was listening to someone, this YouTuber was talking about, if I made $1 million, right? I would try to get rid of 930,000. And he talks in this circular motion, but how would you get rid of 930,000? That's the thing that's killing people. All of this information that sounds really, really good, does sound good, but until you get to the activation phase, you can't do shit with it. Now, if I was up there talking, okay, I wouldn't even say, because this is one of the things, and this is why so many people are financially illiterate. If you have a company and you have high income, the minute you take that income out the company, you expose it to taxation. So what does that tell you? You need to figure out a way to leave that income in the company and use it for company distributions where no taxes come in. Now, no one talks about this because they don't know, because they don't have a real business. They've never had to file 7-figure tax returns. They never had to look at, holy shit, the Internal Revenue Service must think we're married because they fucking the shit out of me. They've never experienced that. I remember the first time I had to pay high taxes. It was back in the day. I was selling office furniture for this company. I made $350,000 on my job, $250,000. My taxes were, it blew my mind how much money they wanted. It blew my mind. It was $20,000 per hundred. Yes, they wanted $110 fucking thousand out of me, and I had to pay it, or I would have been up in jail. $110,000. At that time, that $110,000 would have bought a house outright. At that time, it would have bought a house outright. That's how much money they were taking. So, going through that exposure and having this taxation, I am very, very much a fan of the holding company. And there was some stuff with people talking about will and motivation, high income stuff is better for average people. And I was like, okay, please tell me, what did you learn from that video that you can apply and use? I still haven't gotten a response. So if I was to give a video talking about, I wouldn't even be talking about how to get rid of $1 million. You want to know why? Because I would never take that out the company. That's the trick. I would put myself on a high enough salary. Let's say this is my plan for next year. When I get to there, I'm going to put myself on the salary of $500,000. That would be the majority of the money that I personally take out the company, except there will be something called distributions. Next year, I'm renting all year. But at some point, I'm going to pull money out the company, pay taxes on it, and then put that money in my personal checking account to buy a house once my lease is up, because I just leased a place, and I like it. I like it a lot. But I'll be there about 17 months. But at some point, I'm going to do that and put that money in my personal checking account, and then go out and buy a house after my lease is up. Maybe. Because I'm looking around. There's another property that's kind of close, and they may have something smoking nice. But $500,000 gives me plenty of money. I'll be paying about $110,000 in federal, about 6% in the state, so about $150,000 will go to taxation. That'll leave me $350,000. are about, let's use the calculator so we can give you the right information. So 350,000 divided by 12 gives me 29. Oh, I was going to say about 30. Gives me 29,000 a month to spend. For me, that's plenty. That's plenty. You want to know why it's plenty? I don't have a car note. I don't have credit card debt. I don't have a lot of bills. So 30,000 is plenty of money for me to live my life and leave the money in the company. So let's go back, interviewing me, and we're just talking about, money. And I would say, well, here's the thing. The first thing is I'm financially aware enough that I know that once I start pulling money out the company, that exposes taxation. So I would not pull money out the company that way. This is what I would do. I would put myself on a salary, pay my taxes through my salary, and leave the rest of the money in the holding company and distribute the money in the holding company to new companies and create even more revenue without the erasure of taxation. That's how I would do it. I would never pull that money out because this is what I'm talking about. I'm extremely financially literate, and when these people be talking, as soon as they open their mouth, they pretty much say, "I don't know what I'm doing. I have no clue how this works." I would never. This is something I kind of know about this. I'm not part of this. It's a guy. He's an older gentleman. I think he's like 80 years old, and he has a bunch of real estate that he owns outright. But he's got a problem. He wants to sell it, but if he sells it and gets cash, we're talking about 30, $40 million. I would say $35, $40 million for real estate. If he sold it for $40 million, his taxes would take 15 or 17 million right off the top. So they're trying to work out some kind of program where he can actually sell the real estate but not have that huge tax burden. And it's going to be a struggle because he owns the real estate outright. So monthly, and he's trying to put together an estate for his family because he's 80 years old. So he knows that he has lived most of his life already. But typically, if I was in that situation, I would set up a holding company. And many people will tell you to set up a trust. A trust does absolutely nothing for taxation. Absolutely nothing. Nothing at all. It's like, set up a trust. And I have the trust own. Now, the trust owns an entity that creates taxation, but the trust itself doesn't really. Well, let me go ahead and say this clearly. The trust goes ahead and creates an entity where you can give benefits to people, and those benefits are taxed at a certain rate. But once again, what I would do is set up a holding company. And then, this is one of the beauties of setting up a holding company. You can add partners to the holding company later, or you can go ahead and put a trust on top of that holding company and then have all the money go from the holding company to the trust, then put that out as distributions, if you so choose. But one of the things is, this is something you need to set up early, because his situation is he didn't set it up. He owns all the real estate. It's in his name, and it's a bear because I think even if he died and left the real estate to him because there's so much money, there's going to be, I think you can die and leave up to 13 million or 15 million and not have a lot of taxes, but 40 million, you're going to see some taxes. So the whole thing is, you got to stay out of that. And this is what you're going to get to see me do in 2026. Start the first whatnot business, start a second whatnot business, and let me explain to that. I'm getting back in the storage auction business, but I'm not getting back in the storage auction business the way that I did before, because I know better. Why do I know better? Because I was in the storage auction business. I have cleaned out a 10 by 20 packed storage unit full from the rooter to the tutor by my damn self. I'm not doing that shit. So let me go ahead and give you the plan, because this plan is wrapped up in the system. Once again, I think in systems. I don't think in how to get money. This is from the Nick Saban school of culture. Nick Saban has this thing called the process. Teach each player to be the best player they can in their position. And instead of worrying about winning, worry about getting better and doing your job. And you see the results: 7 national championships. So here's the system. Back in the day, I didn't even know this was possible, but I'm going to have a loading crew. It's going to be 2 guys, maybe 4, depending on how many units we're buying. And we're going to buy a 25-foot truck and a Isuzu NPR truck. And we're going to have a team initially of 4 people. Now, the Isuzu is going to be the delivery truck, but if times where they have to go out and move a lot of units, then the Isuzu truck will go out and clean out the smaller units. That's the first step of the system. Then the second layer of the system is a cameraman will go with them, and he would film them cleaning out the unit. This prevents people from stealing. It's kind of hard to steal when your ass is on camera. Then they bring the unit back into the warehouse, and pretty much I'm going to have one of them like, bam, this is unit such and such, and we're cleaning it out. And then the unit goes to the warehouse. Another camera person in the warehouse. And then I'm going to have the sorters, bam, this is unit such and such, and we're about to go through it, and they'll go through it in the warehouse. Okay? And the cameraman films them going through it, and this is the stuff that we'll post on YouTube. I was thinking about posting this on my current channel, but I'm going to post it on a completely new channel, on Storage Auction channel. So, film them loading up the units, film the sorters going through the stuff, and this is where the Jews and the Oz. Because honestly, I think the way that most YouTubers do it is stupid. To set the unit, to go through all that stuff, I have done that before. It's so operationally inefficient. I mean, you can waste half a day doing that. Because first you pull it out, you go through it, and then you have to pack it back up, load it in your vehicle, then move it. That's just too much time. So my guys are going to go grab it. There'll be some units where there'll be things that'll be interesting, and the cameraman will catch that. Then they bring it to the warehouse, and there'll be 2 cameramen. There'll be a cameraman that goes with the guys in the storage units. There'll be a cameraman in the warehouse. And then this is another system. I'm going to have about 3 or 4 editors. Why? We got 2 cameramen shooting. I mean, they're going to be shooting all of the time. So what this system does is it pulls me out. I don't go load up units. I'm not in the warehouse sorting, and I have a system. And then once again, with the system, I'm going to have a person who's going to post stuff on Facebook Marketplace. I'm going to have a person, same person do Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, and then I'm going to have another person do Amazon, eBay, and Poshmark. So that will be, first there will be this, I figure there's going to be 2-3 people in the sorting area, and then the e-commerce area. Also, going back to that Isuzu NPR, part of the system. We're going to offer free delivery if they purchase at our price. This is something I know that works because I've done it before. And typically, if they want to negotiate, okay, the minute we start negotiating, the price, the free delivery goes away. And I remember this one guy, he was like, I want to get the best deal possible. Do you guys negotiate? I was like, sure, go ahead. But first thing I said is, once we start negotiating, the free delivery goes off the table. Just to let you know, you negotiate, you want a better price, we're open to that. And then he was like, okay. And he negotiated a price, and then he said, when can y'all bring it to me? And I said, remember the first thing I said? The delivery comes off the table. And he was like, really? I was like, I said that. I said, remember, we negotiate the delivery. There is no delivery. You got to come get this yourself. And he was like, but I don't have no truck. Not my problem, man. You want to negotiate. You want the best deal. You gonna come get it or what? Do I need to get off the phone and go ahead and talk to someone else? He said, you know what? Fine. I'll pay your price. Just send it. And that delivery was part of the system that locked it in. And it got to the point where no one even challenged me anymore. Because here's the thing. The delivery removed friction. You can buy it. You can have it delivered. You don't have to do nothing. You don't have to do anything. So it took all the friction out of the purchase because Give you another example, pool tables. Every time I sold a pool table, I included delivery and setup. Why? Because setting up a pool table is not something the average person can do. You got to put the felt on. Typically, if you're going to take a pool table apart, you're going to have to put brand new felt on it, and you're going to have to set it up. So I found this company that did pool table installations, and I remember the last pool table I sold for $4,200, and it was $350 to have the guys come pick it up and deliver it and put that sucker together. So I always included that, and there were people who were like, well, could you do a little bit better? And I was like, once again, if we do better, the delivery comes off the table. And it's like, but putting the pool table together, I'm like, that's why it is. And I had that pool table about 2 months. Then someone's like, I really like it. It'll go good in my game room. Also, part of the system, I had my own merchant account. At one time, I would use PayPal, but PayPal would get a little dicey. And then I had 2 merchant accounts at one point. So I would be able to take their credit card over the phone and then have my delivery guys have them sign the credit card receipt and bring it back. Part of the system. So I already know that this storage auction business is going to be 50, 75 times greater than the last one. Why? Because it operates in a system. I'm not doing it. I'm not going out unloading units. I'm not sorting units. And you'll probably see me on cameras like, something exciting because I'll have my office in the warehouse. I'll be around. But I'm going to hire people, and the people are going to be on YouTube. You'll get to see them because this will be the system. Because as long as I am in the business like that, I am the bottleneck. That is the bottleneck. So I have to pluck myself out, and creating a system is how we do this. Now, this is some stuff that you will talk to a lot of business YouTubers, and they will tell you all kind of bullshit, but they won't talk about having a system. They won't talk about operations. They will not talk about a plan. They will not talk about hiring. Also, part of the system. When we get to the storage auction stuff, guess who I'm going to hire? Drill sergeants. I'm going to hire former drill sergeants. These are going to be my warehouse managers. Why hire drill sergeants? Drill sergeants know how to keep a community and a group of people together. Drill sergeants know how to train people. Drill sergeants know how to maintain order. Drill sergeants will be perfect for this position. So there'll be a drill sergeant who will be in the warehouse over that crew. There'll be a drill sergeant over the moving people, and he may go out with them, or it may be a she. I remember, oh my God, I was like visiting a friend who was in the Marines. And there was this, oh my God, she was smoking hot. She was like Puerto Rican. She had this tight little braid. She had a little hat on. That chick was, I was like, I was stupid around her. I was like, you want me to do some push-ups, man? I'll do some push-ups. I mean, I have never seen a woman that fucking, and she had no makeup on. She was just naturally gorgeous. And she had that drill sergeant walk. If you were in the military, you know what I'm talking about. There's a certain walk they have. And I was just like, if I was able, like, she's not going to be available. That woman must be 50, 60 years old and by now retired out the military. I have no clue where she is. But she would have been perfect to been the camera person, because she was smoking hot. She was smoking hot. So hire drill sergeants. And one of the things I'm going to do is, and this is another thing, this is part of the system, I'm going to pay people extremely well. Now, why am I going to pay people extremely well? When you get good people, paying them extremely well makes it hard for them to quit. They may have issues. They may want to quit, but they optimally know that if I go somewhere else, I can't make this kind of money I'm making here. The goal is by month 6 or 7, the lowest salary for staff will be $35 per hour. Nurses start out at $37 per hour. So they will come in, and this will be a job that a person can do with no degree, nothing like that. Also, this is part of the system. There will be in uniforms, and there will be a looks policy. Like you can't have like locks, and they ain't gonna work. They ain't gonna work, and it's gonna be part of the uniform part. And if there's a guy that comes in and he has locks, it's like I like the job. I'm like, look, you want the job, you gotta cut your hair. You don't want to cut your hair, you have a great day. That's the whole thing. They will be in uniforms. It's going to be black. I already know what the uniform looks like. The movers are going to have black pants, black shirts, and the sorters are going to have red shirts, black pants. I'm actually going to have them wear these Nike shoes. Everyone's going to wear the Nike shoes. Everyone's going to be like in the uniform. Now, except the models for the whatnot. The whatnot hosts, they can dress any way they want to because it's going to be a different groove. And then the film editor guys, the film guys who go out in public, they'll be in uniform. The editors who never leave the warehouse, I hadn't really decided, but more than likely they'll be wearing uniforms as well. So why have the cameramen and the editors? Pulls me out of it. I can edit my ass off. You've seen some of my older videos that color grading. I can instruct my editors. This is what I want. This is the type of look. I know what type of camera to buy. I know what type of lens to buy to get that crisp look. So I pull myself out of it. Now, to put all this together, it's going to be $150,000 to get the warehouse, to buy the trucks, to hire the staff. I estimate that once we amp up, salary is going to be about $150,000 per month, plus $15,000 for rent. So we're like $165 just in operational costs. Probably be spending $40,000 to $50,000 a month on storage units. But here's the thing. I know from experience, when you buy a lot of storage units, you get lucky. You get lucky. Like, I remember one month, I was sucking. I was buying shitty unit after shitty unit after shitty unit. A shitty unit is, you buy the unit for $100, you might make $200, $250. That's a shitty unit. A good unit is a unit you buy for $100, you make $500, $600, $700. An extraordinary unit is your unit you buy for $100 and make $2,000 or $3,000. And then a killer unit, you can spend $5,000. It doesn't matter because this unit's going to do six figures. So once we get into the groove, and this is something else. In the beginning, I'll be buying the units because everything's online. All I got to do is sit there and watch auctions. And I have this policy called nuclear bids. I would put a nuclear bid on the unit in a heartbeat because I want to get it. You know, a lot of people bid to get a deal. I bid to get it. And this is one of the reasons that I won silent bid, is where you write your auction number on a piece of paper. And I was like, okay, everyone's trying to get this and they're trying to steal it. And then I remember one time, it was this unit. It was a good unit. You could just tell it was a good unit. It was professionally moved. There were these rugs rolled up. It was a 10 by 30. Full, slam packed. And I knew that everybody wanted this unit. So I went ahead and put my first bid down. And this was my bidding process. I wrote $2,500 and I said, okay, I think a lot of people are going to be close to that. So I just went nuclear and I wrote $3,850, $3,850.75. I got that unit by 25 cents. The next person that bid over me, because I would always do something funny with the math, make it just something weird. I would always make the cents go up. And I beat this other guy by 25 cents. 25 cents. And when she read my name in the unit, and he was like, fuck you, man. You always doing this shit. Can't someone else get a fucking unit? Fuck. He really wanted that unit. And that unit cost me $3,800. And I actually sold $10,000 worth of stuff the first day out of that unit. 10 G's. And ultimately we ended up making $90,000 off that unit. Because it was super good, super good. But once again, if you want something, you got to bid like that. That's why Dave on Storage for, yep. You got to bid like that to get it. So it's going to be fun. I'm going to actually, once I get the money up, because the money has to be new money. And this is something else. This is part of the system. I don't take money I already have and throw it into something. I create new money. So with the jewelry channel, which will start in January, we got that going. And then the storage auction stuff, well, will start after that, and then I will start. Oh, there will be the storage auction will have a whatnot channel of its own. So this is having system. Just going out like hustling, and hustling means you are the hustler. You do everything. You buy the stuff, you sell the stuff, you move the stuff. That kills you. That kills you because you don't have a system. But when you put together a system, the world will open up and bless you. I mean, seriously. So this is why you got to have a system. And once again, no one else talks like this because no one else has a real business. Now, let me go ahead and be really, really clear. They have a strong YouTube business, which is based off personality. And they get the views, they make a lot of money. I'll tell you a secret. I never made a lot of money from YouTube itself. Now, what do I mean? YouTube itself, that's the AdSense brand deals. I didn't do brand deals because I was always pushing my own stuff. I wouldn't do a brand deal when I was selling my own courses. So best year I had from YouTube advertising was about 95,000 between Savage Finance and the main channel. But because I was using YouTube to sell stuff, I was doing $250,000 a month. So this is one of the things that people get mixed up. And this is something that we'll address in the Monetize Your Mind course, which will drop in 2026. So that's just part of this bundle. Because I'm telling you guys, you want to get in now. Why? Because the AI part is going to take you some time to amp up. So the links are below. Hopefully, let me know how you like this video. Let me know what you're thinking, and I'll see you guys in the next one.